G.I. Joe, issue number 8. That's right, folks. At the end of the last issue, we had Lady J and Flint teaming up with Beachhead to make Night Force, which is like a offshoot of the G.I. Joe stuff. Well, this time around, we are not following up that story. We are instead focusing on Anastasia because the Baroness is having a terrible time in the pit. Let's go back to the pit, why don't we? Because we see CoverGirl and Risk are hunting through the halls. They are looking for the Baroness. They don't see her in the ceiling above them, and she drops down and gets the advantage on CoverGirl and shoots her with a paintball. But what they don't know is that Risk is right behind her and shoots her in the chest. It was all like a simulation, all an act to test who they are, and Anastasia's getting pissed off that she fell for the move, the classic move of just like putting herself at a disadvantage. She's like, I need to clear my head, I need to get out of here. And Duke's like, well, you can't because this is important stuff. We're practicing for a big war. That war's against Cobra. And what's Cobra up to at this moment? They are looking at footage. Cobra Commander and Destro are looking at some of the footage from Seattle, which is in the Transformers book where Bruticus and Devastator just beat each other up. And they're like, this is kind of crazy. You had one of these, Cobra Commander? And what happened now? He's like, well, it's in a place I can't return to. And Destro wants to ask why, but he's like, if I told you all my secrets, you wouldn't want me around anymore because you just feel like you get rid of me. Nonetheless, we know how to get a hold of some of this stuff, and we need like the shards of energy they have, which we have some access to. We are very deadly. We know how to find one, or we can find one. Meanwhile, we know somebody who has one because we're going back to see Hound. Hound has been with Clutch for a little bit. The end of, I think, issue 6, we are introduced to Hound. And you just see Clutch driving onto base. He's like, okay, don't turn into a robot. And then Hound turns into a robot. He's like, I just said don't do that. He's like, well, if I'm talking, I want to be like this because I have a mouth. Why do we return to base? I want to see more of your world. He's like, not yet, dude, not yet. Like, we just got to get to the bottom of all this. And you see, like, Duke walks up like, Clutch, what is this? You got a new vehicle? Someone signed off on it? He's like, well, actually, I, like, found it in, like, the lower levels, and I've been updating it, and, like, it's kind of my own project, and Duke's like, dude, we haven't really, like, talked since you had your incident. He's like, I'm good, man. Like, it's fine. Nothing. It's good. Don't worry about me. He's like, no, I am. Like, come on. If you need to, like, take some time to, like, relax, go ahead. And Baroness hears that, and she's like, oh, so he's allowed to leave, but I'm not. And then Clutch goes, all right, why don't you two have this conversation outside? I'm going to go work on the car. So Baroness and Duke are going to have their conversation. She wants to leave, just get out of there for a little bit. And Duke's like, you can't. You're a wanted criminal. There's nothing you can do. She's like, give me 24 hours. I need to leave. Everything is stressful here. And he's like, I'm okay, fine. I'll give you the time. No killing. Just figure it out. So she's going to take off on her private plane. But the wait staff are like, would your friend like a glass as well? Like, my friend's like, oh, looks like CoverGirl has to come with you. Well, you go on this mission. This mission being escape. So Courtney just walks in. And she's like, this is a nice private jet. You know, it's pretty cute. I've been on better ones because I used to be a model before this, but it's nice. She knows exactly how to play into Anastasia's hand. Like, I have to up my game, just talk bigger than you, be more impressive than you. That's what you're going to find interesting. So they head to France, and Courtney's looking out the window like, oh, this is cool. What do you want to do first? And then she's like, oh, she just escaped already. So then we see the Baroness just driving down. She heads to a random cafe. She sits down, orders a drink, and then Courtney shows up, and she's like, American, please, thank you. I'll just, like, sit down and thanks. Like, I'm here with my friend. It's really nice to see her. And they're like, look at us. We're in a cafe in France, just having a good time. We then see that somebody is reporting to Major Blood that they found the Baroness, and he's like, all right, an eye for an eye, which is a saying we'll get to. Courtney's just trying to let Anastasia know, like, I understand, like, why you want to run, why you need to be alone, but what you got to understand is, like, none of the things that I've seen from you are very interesting. You're a very predictable person. And she's like, can I just get some privacy? He's like, no. If you tell me maybe what you need the privacy for. And she points to a couple on the other side of the street that are her parents. And they're coming there to celebrate an anniversary and just enjoy their time together. And Courtney's like, why don't you go celebrate with them? It's like, it's not that easy. I don't want to ruin their moment, and I don't think they need to see me. They're okay. And she's like, there's some friendship being built between the two of them in this moment. It could all be a facade being played by Anastasia, who's just trying to come up with like a little moment for any of this. Or it could just be they're actually connecting because they're two women who were thrust into a world they never wanted to be a part of and found escape through the military. Which could be it too, because Courtney admits like her parents wanted her to be a model. She didn't want to go down that route, but that's just how things happen. So there's some genuine connection being made between the two of them. And then like a weird bird lands on their table that's squawking at them. And Courtney's like, oh, is that a falcon? That's kind of weird. Like, are you okay, little guy? And then boom, a lot of falcons attack. And then Courtney's like, okay, is this one of your plans to escape? She's like, no, why would I do that? That makes no sense. We got to get people out of here, and we got to get my parents to safety. And she realizes right away what's going on. One of the falcons like latches its talons into the back of Courtney. It's trying to drag her away. Then we hear some boots land on top of a building, and a voice goes, hello, Baroness. My name is Raptor. Major Blood demands your audience. I'm like, oh, shit, that's sick. That's a cool action figure. I do have the Raptor action figure, and it looks fucking amazing. And that's how I relate to G.I. Joe characters now. So yeah, this guy's awesome. I'm all in on this guy. He looks sick. Such a stupid design with big birds. I'm all in. It's awesome. So he obviously wants to take Baroness away. That's sick. Fun little issue. You know, we have a lot of stuff going on. Nothing to do with Night Force, but whatever. Baroness is connecting with her team. When is the ultimate betrayal going to happen? I suppose we'll find out when this book continues. There's still a lot of stuff to introduce and a lot of characters to play with, but we are slowly and surely getting there. But Raptor showing up in Paris at a cafe with a bunch of birds. I love it. I genuinely love it. So, G.I. Joe issue number 8. I am going to give an 8 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.